W's draft.
Yeah, I am a really big fan of easy execution in a lot of spots here too. It's just really easy for W to play like a succinct style. The pressure here.
No one has really questioned Pays and his ability. As I gotta say, Monkey was spotted doing his first 3 camp spot, but was not spotted mid.
There we go. That's the aggressiveness of Team W right there. Karras lands the root. Monkey flies in. First blood.
Playing with full info, but a potential dive could come in. Vampire still 2. He should hit 3 those soon. He's probably 1 man way away.
Right, here we go. We're going to try and get those concussive blows stacked up, but the turn aggro's being juggled. Missing will be traded out there for Taeyun's life. But Pays is able to knows those timers and has the troops coming to assist him just like that. And the one positive side for the flip for WE is that Sion is probably the best 1v2 weak side champion, especially we saw in Split 1 when you can
area
swap
traditionally where Shen's been playable, where we see him, but now Ala.
Yeah, Monkey trying to set up for another pick play here. They can't get the knockup though. Ala gets the flash out, but it doesn't matter. Monkey with the tunneler has more than enough.
Where's Ala?
You already have TPs come across. Cube is in. There's a Chains of Corruption down. They're going to try and burn through the Sion with 4 members, and Cube is just picked off and sectioned down. Monkey trying to avoid that Braum passive. Will try and trade back in, but gets stunned up by Shun, who pops Crescent Guard, so Karras can't get any damage back out. It cannot save Monkey. Seismic Shelf not going to land from Scout, but they might have their pick nonetheless as Karras gets far too low. The concussive blow Q nearly finds its mark. Vampire trying to desperately peel for Karras as Shun dives under the turret, knowing that Stand United is there to bail them out as this game progresses.
Yeah, again, this is the mid game where JDG should be stronger. WE for sure set behind after that last set of plays. They're going to focus on this top side as Monkey going to find Missing, but doesn't know that Missing is alone.
Still safe.
That felt like a split call from WE.
Now Vampire, he's jumping in. 2 versus 3 right now. They have the Weaver's Wall. There's the Pantheon ultimate. Monkey joins the fight, but it's Taeyun actually flashing after and killing off Pays, and that just sets off the whole chain reaction. WE playing with that confidence again, but Monkey's taking a lot of damage. Here comes the Stand United. Shun with Ala is going to try and join the fight. Ala, though, gets canceled out. Doesn't matter. Vampire falls next. Shun able to keep Karras and Taeyun off the front line. The Crescent Guard blocks all of that damage. True Shot Barrage doesn't find it.
Done on the Pays. Just what happens after this? I guess I know Taeyun's a little bit low, but WE they get split from Taeyun. They overextend. They don't kind of retreat back him.
Oh my God! Cube has a genius Sion ultimate. Pays didn't even get to move again. The JDG 80 carry drops at the start of the fight. The huge damage amp for this composition. But they still want to try and fight out with their range. In goes Shun, knocking back Karras, but in flies Vampire, trying to set up Shun, get value out of that Crescent Guard, but Scout is ramping up on this damage as well on the backside of this fight. Karras and Taeyun are trying to hold the line, and with the zombified Cube, they're going to try and knock down Missing. Find another big kill, but Shun goes in on Taeyun with Ala right up in front, and he lands a 2-man taunt, and Scout flies in off his own Weaver's Wall to seal the fate of WE.
WE just don't have the damage right now. And that fight could not have gotten off to a better start because Cube had a huge connect on the Pays, who of course was sumless. But WE playing out the rest of that one. They aren't playing patiently enough against this JDG comp, and the strength of the draft that JDG has right now is paying off. This feels like Karras is tickling people at the moment.
Just a little bit too late to some of these plays.
Cube, again, you cannot ask for a better start to this fight.
Of course,
Cube's going to take a lot of damage.
What's going on live here?
Back to live.
Oh my
Stand
gosh.
United. Goodbye, Monkey.
Monkey and Vampire just picked off. There's the threat of those global ultimates showing through, but Karras on the backside is going to shut down Scout.
Able to play this one out, so I mean, I don't know exactly how that one developed. That was interesting. That replay again, I feel like WE, like after Cube took all that damage, just weren't quite able to get out. As okay, we're looking bot.
Vampire jumped in 1v2 to get Pays. Yep.
Well, yeah, 2v3. Tankier was nice too, but return to live. This mid turret's going down. JDG going to continue to add a little bit more gold to their lead, and again, still feel like their comp's pretty strong, but some of the concerns that we painted early on with protecting this Varus, I've for sure seen the light of day in the earlier stages of this one.
We're going after Ala again. Good way to take away the Shen. The Stand United, send him to the gray screen. This time, Monkey and Cube able to get that one done.
Yeah, Ala not even going to burn the flash, and that was the right choice as he went down there. Up way too far, and again, take mistakes for JDG. Like, this is still a point of the game where this game's close and within reach for WE.
Oh Here we go. Scout with the reaction play on the other side
TP
of the map
coming
towards
in.
Karis. Great dodge on the seismic shove. Karis is going to be able to buy enough space until Shoot flashes right in, gets the knock up the Seraph shield, the dodge on the Braum Q, and the Glacial Fissure. Karis just knocked off so many valuable ultimates. Cube on the flank. Vampire flashes, gets the stun down onto Scout. This Seraph shield should not save Scout. The Grand Starlight, everybody from Team WE pulled up to the party, knocking down Scout. And what's their grand prize, Cubby? Otacon.
I don't get this play from JDG. I mean, part of me doesn't get it. I feel like if they're more in sync, they might have been able to pull this one off. We do have to pause because Shoot is here. It could smite steal. They've dragged this one down a bit.
Paze now just joins. The smite down to 8 HP, but they get it done. So JDG do not threaten the Otacon, and they're going for more here. Who's the comp that plays the map better? Because right now it seems like it's Team WE as they Realm Warp Vampire right on top of Ala. Jun, you do not want to jump into that dumpster fire. Another pick found.
Paze has sums up. It feels like Paze needs summoner spells up in these fights to function. Because he needs help, right? I mean, this Varus can't do it alone. It's really tough to play Varus this game. You need a lot of help from your team to be able to make this one work.
They're going for more here once again. Team WE on the hunt. The Weaver's Wall does block off a lot of the damage dealers. Cube gets thrown under turret by a good seismic shove. So Scout is chunking down this very tanky Scion. WE have to play on the back foot. Meanwhile, all this time, Ala's getting turrets on the top side. When is he going to join that Stand United? He does as the big stun lands down from Cube. Ala flies in, though, only gets Vampire. And this time, Paze gets the free hit and generate more and more damage. But Taeyun, flashing over the wall, finds one kill, gets away from Shoot. No, he won't escape him. But Monkey's able to trade him out. It's chaos all across this bottom side river. But it's JDG narrowly coming out on top 3-2.
Holy cow, these fights are explosive. Paze did burn his flash there, but was able to do a lot of work. He's flashless, though.
Oh, he tries to dive after Paze, but Ala was there to cover him. This time, Paze should not fall. Great sidestep on the Q. Paze this time survives, and now Karis has to pay the toll for his jungler.
Oh, the hands from Paze, they were fantastic in that fight. Isolated the Scion, but Paze was the one who was electric in the back half of this. Keep your eyes onto him. Work it on the Cube. Karis gets slowed down. Again, the chase from JDG is decent here. And, okay.
Oh, no, Scout again.
Going. Scout caught.
Again, it's the same reoccurring problems for Scout.
Yeah. That sucks, because I would have loved to see that replay. Instead, we just have to watch Scout die for nothing. I get to miss out on Paze's banger play again, and Paze is probably a Scion like, God, I have no flash this time, and I need another banger play if I'm to stop this Baron, which is now being started by WE.
Why not? WE knows so many summoners are off the board here. They also want to force Ala up. So he immediately teleports in. This is still a 5v4 for Team WE, who want to really break the bank and open up this game one. But Baron is really taking its sweet time going down. It was all a fake for WE to find the engage. Going after Paze once again. Vampire gets on top of him. Cube's there as well. There are no summoners on this forest, and the true shot barrage sends him back to base. Team WE spring the trap at Baron, and they're looking to cash all the chips in right now. Shun and Ala on the back foot, but they've got themselves Scout returning with the Weaver's Wall. And once again, we go back to dancing with Baron, but this time WE 5-on-3.
Love the execute on the Paze. Again, Paze no sums. It's so difficult to fight as this on-hit Varus with no sums. WE's making it look hard as they had a good execute there. They're getting a little bit low.
How do they do this? How do they get to Taeyun or Karis without any of their main damage dealers? Scout has no range to play at, and it's this point at the tip of Monkey's spear that sends another member of JDG down.
Really poor game from Scout. I would usually say it's uncharacteristic, but we have seen Scout have a couple of stinkers here. This is definitely one of them.
Look at Monkey's health bar. Monkey needs to be careful. He needs to be close enough to smite. Ala tries to get the top, but it doesn't land. Monkey's smite range true. Sure, he falls, but Team WE will finally exit top river with 4.
You're up a full level on Paze, who's about to ding 15. This is soul point now for WE, which, I mean, given Baron and the pressure they have is assumed. But, again, JDG was so important for them with this mid-game, like, to do something. And we've really highlighted the globals from Ala and Scout needing to make plays to get ahead of WE. What did we see this game? Ala and Scout really struggling to play inside lanes, and the round warps and Monkey being too big as Taeyun
stuck. No, but Taeyun! That's both summoners down. They teleport in Karis as well. He's immediately going to use the Realm Warp to save Monkey. Ooh. Team WE with a critical mistake, and Ala's looking to punish it even further. Flashing on top of Karis, who now has to burn another one of his summoners. But the flashes keep on coming. The hits are rolling right now, and Karis and Taeyun are going to fall an absolute collapse moment for World Elite.
All right, Scout, good comeback. That was a beautiful setup and a great play as a Baron was up for WE. Now Baron's down, and JDG, they're likely going to take an inhibitor here. Taeyun has 20 seconds on him. Karis won't be up for a bit. I don't think they can end, but for sure inhibitor falls, and yeah, they're going to take that, and that's it. But
well, here's the future problem, though, Cubby. Yeah, it is. Here's the. Oh my God, Karis is doing a scout impression in the side lanes. What's going on to these carries?
Again, we know that WE's been hot. They've been playing a good game so far. We definitely have not seen this be a perfect game from either of our teams, but
nope.
Man, WE don't grasp defeat. See if it pays off.
Also JDG. Pays is also the first person to get to 4 items here with the Jack Show completed. Grabs no screen, taking his Vampire's going to go in. Has the Grand Starfall coming across. They're going after Pays. Does cleanse, does flashback. Cube follows after him. This time Pays is not protected. He is under threat and he falls. Karis and Taeyun bring the damage, and just like that, this topsy-turvy game swings back into WEZ's favor. It's only a matter of time before JDG start to crumble under the crushing might of Taeyun and Karis.
That was a really good setup from WE, making up for some of their own sins we've seen in this game. But again, like, Pays has sums up. Look at how difficult that fight is for Pays to play out. You got Scion in your face, you have Ryze behind you, you have a Grand Skyfall right on top of you too. And all those tools, there's not enough tools to peel for Pays. And I will see if there's enough tools to actually get Shun out of this pit. Monkey's getting low.
Scout is getting eviscerated off to the side here by Taeyun, and there's the Root Prism land. Jun is going to fall. He doesn't even get a chance to try and steal away that.
Leona combo or a Pantheon 2 over the top, and that's it. So I think WE, odds that they end on this push, very high. Again, I think playing 2 lanes, pretty nice. Missing you. The last time WE
responds in about 10 seconds, so the fight over the mid wave will start it out here unless Cube sees an angle on to Pays. The realm warp to the back end. Gotta watch Pays. Will he be protected? Vampire says no. Will the Stay United bail him out? Alla comes flying in. Pays is desperately trying to kite himself back out to safety, but no! He will fall! And Taeyun ramping up on the front side may seal this game's fate, but Scout has a ton of damage of his own. It's only Taeyun and Cube left up. Did Pays buy JDG enough time? It certainly damn looks like it. Taeyun has to have his MVP moment of this game to save this fight because Cube's health bar is desperately crumbling. Taeyun trying to pump as much damage as he possibly can. This full build Ezreal. The wall comes up. They're getting it low. Shun, who lost that big 50-50 Kanavi on Elder, this time is not going to have to 50-50 it at all. He's waiting to see if he can get up on all 5 members, and he does.
Baron's push for the end with Elder up. Of course, it's a lot of strength, but could be kind of dangerous here. Because once Elder expires, I mean, if you're too far up on the map, we could...
Yes.
Yeah, that's a hell of a roller coaster that we have here.
It's the first game of the day, Cubby.
I mean, I feel like I've talked a lot.
Soon as JDG.
I mean, 30 seconds. They can get 2 inhibitors. I don't think they can push Nexus turrets, though.
Oh,
Karis misses.
Karis gets away from the seismic shove. Not going to get low enough for the Elder to pop him there. Waves are coming up.
20 seconds.
Take down both those inhibitors.
I mean, I'm telling you, once Elder expires, they're like, WE's going. I think this is it for JDG.
Boy.
We're really flipping
They're on a timer. They're going in now. Still 10 seconds on the Elder. That's a huge side of from Scout to buy space. They went too early, and now Pays is going to make all of WE pay. The Elders are just popping Team WE across the board as they immediately lose their 2 tankiest members. Elder is gone, but it might have been a fleeting hope. JDG has been topsy-turvy all game long, but they're going to try to cool off the hot streak of Team WE and win themselves a 45-minute banger game 1.
I don't get why WE went then. Your Nexus turrets, you don't need to fight under both. It would have been better to wait. And yeah, curious to see what happens when Silas joins to subjugate and casts that on an Ornn, because that can be disgusting.
I do find it intriguing that we give Pays the biding his time. Maybe wants to let the red buff do some of the work, and then he's going to collapse.
Let the ego down.
Shun, yeah, going to get the speed up. Trundle, one of the best 1v1 champions. His Monkey's looking to show why. Karis going to swing over first. Wow. This is done and dusted. Shun falls to the might of Monkey. First blood, WE.
All right, Monkey using some of that early trading power. I know that Kelsey Moser, of course, we're blessed to have her help with this project.
Right, if you can get those upgrades early to Karis's kit, Monkeys, and then later on Taeyun, you're in a good spot. WE's bottom lane might be in a pretty precarious one, the way they go for that engage on the Missing. Remember, flashes are down for Missing. The bullet time is up. Vampire is stuck between a rock and a hard place, and the only way out is back to base. Great bullets out there. Grubs are up. Shun is here. The swap has come through for both sides. And the hook's going to land for Vampire. They're going in onto Missing. The Ornhorn's redirected by Cube towards Pays and Shun. They do eat the knock-up. Scout's coming across, going to steal his own Ornhorn. Hijacking the play here for WE. In goes Shun, dashing forward, using the target to survive. Gets himself out and gets out to safety. Deadly Flourish going to land, though, onto Pays. Shun, I don't think you can body block for your AD carry here. It's Scout coming over. Line of defense. Curtain call to slow down and just give this Dragon. I mean, it's first one at 13 minutes as well.
Yeah, the Dragon stacking is not really going to be a factor this game, which is a little bit unique. Again, haven't seen... I don't think that it's really WE's Dragon to take. As again, early on, the strength
last
of the...
game, just trying to lean into one of his big solo lanes and try to knock down this first turret. But Scout going to hijack himself. A Shuriman shuffle. There's the response, though, from Karis. Pays is nearby, but Scout does not have the... That melee-dominated comp is going to be afraid of this Azira. Maybe they should just fear Vampires. Missing gets a ton of his HP taken away. Shun is close by. Monkey going to have the subjugate up as the bullet time does come across. Monkey uses subjugate to get some health back, but it's not going to be enough as Shun gets himself another reset. Jumping on top of Vampire. He's going to make it a 2-for-1 for the pack.
Can't be nice for Azira. Renekton just kind of has to catch and farm, but you shouldn't be going down getting solo bullet up there. So well played from Karis. Right? Yeah, leads to a Dragon secure. I think Dominus was down from forcing Q.
He was. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
We do our job on that, champ. That said, Alma, that was a bit shame. Different version this season. There's only
Thornbound.
This patch. There's only one, but this, regardless of the version, this seems to be getting melted. This might just be taken.
Yeah, Garrus secures it.
Close.
And there's no flowers to pick up, so...
Yeah, still a feel good. We have seen with the cheaper boots, right, just 500 gold, more people just buying it and just being like,
trying to buy space, but they have to find a way to reconnect. Scout has the Ornhorn, maybe trying to set up a big combo.
Vampire
get Shun and Missing in. All off to the side. Bullet time with the crash down. Magnet Storm melts away Vampire's health bar. Karis off to the side, trying to get the Sand Soldiers up to push a lot of damage out himself. WE on the back foot, playing 5 versus 4. How much do they want to over-aggress here? Monkey runs out of subjugate timer for now. Shun hiding back very carefully. Starting to shoehorn WE in, trying to bait them further into a fight that can end this game.
Scout can grab another ult. His hijack is up. I think this is a very scary fight for WE. I would give this one. I think that...
Trapped.
Yeah. Look at Scout. He's not spotted.
Look at Missing. They just completely flank out. Scout gonna flash himself back out of safety. Taeyun follows after, but there's the Emperor's Divine. A huge play from Karis. Monkey trying to brawl way out. Karis with another beautiful flash. Leaves Pays in the dust. Just when we thought W were gonna get trapped, circled, and shut down. It's the fight out from Karis and Monkey that rescues them and might just get them the grand prize of an ace home.
Giant fight from Karis. He was the one that was set up for success in this game, the only one that goes down, but the Emperor made sure that they felt the pain of Shurima before he did, as that was a beautiful sidestep on the Shurima shuffle that came out from Scout. And I was scared of that fight for WE.
Safely gets the curtain call down. Jin damage not to be messed with as well. Wherewithal on Team WE. Oh, Allah, my friend, that teleport was an errand play to try and save yourself, but he might actually... Oh, I thought he was going to escape Karis, but Vampire's there to sink his fangs into the croc. Good sidestep. They do commit the depth charge, but Allah will fall in the side lane once more in game 2.
Great read.
Oh my God,
Karis.
Where did Missing just go?
Yeah, Missing gets picked as JDG was trying to hit the Dragon, and frankly, with those 2 kills going on over, they get an inner, but I don't think they can take down the Dragon. Scout's got a base, and there's going to be 2 inner turrets now going over to WE, and maybe an inhibitor turret.
This is the first time we've seen them in 3 Baron plays. Knock down a tier 2 in mid lane. The first time we've seen in 3 Baron plays across this series that we've seen WE knock down the inhibitor.
He's going mid?
Yeah, I mean, Scouts, that was an interesting teleport. Scouts not respecting this potential
get
all
TP.
Call for the end. Scout's going to TP the bullet time, interrupted by a pillar. Monkey finally hits the pillar on the bullet time. The Nexus turrets are down. Shun's on the reset, though, going after Taeyun. And WE might have overextended themselves once again. Pays is stepping up and eviscerating all these health bars. It's got to be Karis and Taeyun. Pays trying to turn out the damage. It's the 2 big-time damage dealers for WE as Karis flies in after Pays. The Emperor's Divine, though, falls short. Pays survives. JDG survives with their Nexus exposed to keep the dreams of a sweep alive. Scary for WE to kind of walk into unless they do it as a unit.
Yeah, they've got Cube. He can face tank, and it's okay. That was a really nice backstep by Karis to step away from Scout, who saw Emperor's Divine and is still looking. He is spotted, but
Going on to missing. Scout. Oh, look at that. Emperor's Divine. It stops Karis in his track. Shun flies in as well, but he's getting blown away by the Sand Soldiers, and Karis pops inside. He's at just the perfect marker. Now the curtain call comes out. Pays and Alla trying to run away desperately. And they should be able to escape for now. The force shot doesn't slow up Alla, but that should seal Baron and maybe the fate of JDG as Monkey is on the hunt. Monkey is looking to end this game alongside Karis as he TPs in. They may not even want the Baron, Cubby.
Yeah, I think they can end again. I think it's going to be just so hard to get back to that Azir in this game. We saw Scout give a pretty admirable effort. It was him and Shun trying to get into the back line. And Karis, he didn't play it perfectly, but he did play it well enough to escape. TP back, and we'll see if this spells the doom of JDG in this game too, as it's 10 seconds on Shun and 20 on Scout.
This is not low enough for them to thread. Monkey gets to walk in with a red carpet, and he's going to try and go after Pays for now. Monkey kind of getting confused, discombobulated with targets to go for. Baron's also at 2K. This is just chaos. Nobody wants to start the fight. Nobody wants to take the Baron. What are we going to do? Finally, the bullet time comes up. Vampire's getting denied. Health bar goes down. The Baron's still only being done by Shun. Pays is going to turn his attention back over, and Pays secures the Baron. Now, JDG, they just got to get out. Try to take as many Pearl Banners as they can with them. But Pays, he doesn't want to flash over the wall. Alla goes down next. Pays, you should have just flashed out in the first place. But Scout on the back end, he's trying to end the game. Pays is going to try and stop the backs. Can JD make off the heist and just win this thing right now? Pays is sacrificing himself with Shun. They're buying so much time for Scout, but he doesn't have the wave to do it. And it's going to cost Pays his life. It's going to cost all of JG his life. And now WE may finally get to win.
Karis is basing. Okay, Scout's going to go back. Alla's going to be up. It's going to be a 5v3 with Pays and Shun probably not going to be in for this fight. I think that's going to be it. That should be it.
Nexus turret's down. Scout can't hold the line. Taeyun hits like a truck. The last Nexus turret still being safe. They're pulling Monkey under it. Karis is here, though. Last Nexus turret down. Last hurrah for Alla and JDG, but they just can't get to Karis. They can't touch the damage dealers. And finally, can WE end this game? Scout's trying to throw them all into the Nexus turret. The turret is going down. The Nexus will finally fall. Oh my God.
That was like watching a Bears game, except Bears usually lose, Slayer. That was Jesus. Just in terms of this new Annie and some of her scenarios that we have, but again, a champion that has seen a lot of changes in the last couple patches and has started to really sneak her way into the meta.
So top side
he's going to look mid first.
Down, or he's going mid. Scout having stun up. Karis is just so dead. So caught out. The flash. Kind of had to burn it, but it's painful. Got Shun with Lamb's Respite. If they can time this well enough, should be able to survive. The wave gets back towards the turret. Unstoppable form. Q this bot so much space here, and JG are really stunted. They're going to finally commit to the dive. They'll finally grab it. Lamb's Respite used defensively. Karis is here. They're going to chase down Monkey on the top side, though, as well. Pay's going to flash after. Grab the Feats of Warfare. They do sacrifice Shun, though. But it's still a JDG win after they grab the 2-for-1.
Karis got a shut down. Meanwhile, W's bot lane, they're actually proxying, but Vampire just hit 6. Does Taeyun hit 6 off this creep? He might.
Oh my God, Vampire, you mad lad. Equalizer down. Vampire, the turret ramping up here. Don't know how many more turret shots he can take. Taeyun's waiting on cooldowns as well. The wave is thinning. They're going to have to go in now if they want it. And Taeyun perfectly times the flash.
Like, you don't really need Scorch in this matchup as the Orianna, because you end up winning this one pretty quickly. And to be fair, too, this series has gone super late and has been super haywire, so the value out of that's nice. We got the pause. Dragon.
Quickness.
Good stall.
Stalls. Dragon squared by Shun. He does have the Lamb's Respite to get on the wall if he wants. Cube trying to force the issue. Taeyun flies in with the Killer Instinct. There is the Lamb's Respite. Can anyone get knocked out of it, though? Shun's going to get himself out, but missing it. Pays are left in the pit and left to fall down to the chainsaw running, known as Taeyun. As Vampire says, serve up another one towards my AD carry. All damage. Karis. Shockwave down. Tibbers falls. One more Q, though. Scout should be able to pick up the kill. That shield's going to provide a lot of value. Misses the ball. The push and pull. This 1v1, but it's Karis to flash and secure another kill.
And even in those series, like they were, being competitive against teams like Top Esports, taking games off of AL. Now to
Scout.
Potential 6-game win streak.
Oh, Vampire. We're going crazy. There's the shockwave I was waiting for, and Unbreakable Will making a good dive until Tibbers comes out and says, you're not taking Scout down for free. Monkey traded for Scout's life.
Because of the flash from Scout, the initial ball carrier Oh, that ball snapped back to Karis. There was no shockwave. He put it on the second one as the Vampire connected with the kill. Monkey stuck around a little bit too long. Ate the Tibbers, ate the death as Shun does find his fourth mark. That is a nice spike on the Kindred. So definitely a little bit important to note. But still, WE, I mean, they're the team that's ahead, Slayer. And they're the team where, look at the tankiness. Like their comp is just so much easier to execute compared to JDG's.
Interesting big first item, too. I like this from Cube. The Kanik gets so much value into those solo lanes. He knows not only that it's such a good tank value item, but looking at the side lane assignments, right? Snowballed themselves into a big threat is Shun.
Yep.
Right? He's got fourth mark, 2-1. Very quickly on the way to try and get that Triforce done second. And that's why they picked this Kindred, right? You talked as much about missing on the Rakan is a big win con or a big win pick for him, but Shun on this Kindred is as well. As he gets the mid-tier 1 turret down, does have to burn his flash to get away from Vampire. Missing with the quickness. Gets a flash matched here by Monkey. So win for JDG. They open a lot more of the map up.
It is.
The other. Yeah,
it is, yeah.
Well, let's see that Kindred in action. Maybe the Lamb's Respite as well. They're going to dive the Cassante, but without plates in a healthy wave, it's actually not really a dive because the turret gets turned off.
Cube.
So Cube in the 1 versus 4 going to go all out, pull missing away from him,
He's
and
out.
dash himself to safety. Hey, just
Well
the turret
played.
having to fall, and that'll just easily get traded by Karis and Monkey.
That's really well played by Cube, as he was able to get his way on out of that one. Shun going to try and play that wave all the way in. Will crash it. Going to try and cut Cube off. Cube has not spotted this one, and of course he has that magic resist, not the armor.
Yeah, Kraken Slayer is burning through that health bar, missing in a flash, knock up, charm, and send Cube to the gray screen. Courtesy of Shun.
But of course Shun, he brought the fire, and
Cube. Oh, the flash too.
Before UW, with no flash and really no frontliners for missing, I think it is a lot harder for him to engage.
Whoa, Monkey! Dragon wasn't the prize. It was Ala. They're going to flash after him as well. Taeyun gets the kill done, but it's Monkey again. The agency this guy brings to WE, proving pivotal once more. But even in the 5v4, JDG, they want to fight themselves through this Dragon. It's slowly getting chunked lower and lower.
They've not found Scout. Yep,
Scout's going in. Tippers down onto 2. The quickness follows.
Nice.
Huge knockups onto the backline, but Shun can't get through because Cube and Vampire are holding them in place. Monkey gets the Dragon, and now it's time for the birds to sing the name of the World Elite. The Lamb's Respite only buys time for Shun, who cannot kite away from that Cassante. Pays falls. Next one up is Shun. The turret will barely save them for now until Karis flashes after, maybe a little bit too precariously. Taeyun can't get the kills done. Shun gets a heal back and a shutdown. Taeyun once again, right when WE think they have a winning play, they overextend and lose it all. Ola finds Vamp.
Overextend too much, and JDG is so squishy. And that Lamb's Respite, like, yes, it buys time, but this team is just so squishy compared to what WE has. They can't really stick around and find these fights, and speaking of sticking around, Monkey has stuck around. Let's see if he goes for the yoink or not.
Is he going to do it? Nope.
No, he's out of there. All right, good Otacon secure. Otacon secure, of course. Nice. I love this from Monkey and Team WE. Again, JD, like, with how squishy Ala is. Oh, wait, we got to go back to live. Ala's dead again on live. As Monkey just turned around and found him. Again, cease and desist against Rumble, like, no one can help him.
Onto Missing. They have the ball on top of Monkey. Missing gonna get the charms down. Pay's gonna get hit by the shockwave. Goes into the Feather Storm. Scout gets the big tippers down, but it's not gonna be enough. The Equalizer doesn't get enough value, and the tank of Vampire holding the front line strong. Taeyun is full HP in the Drake Pit. Monkey, not the same sort of stature. Karis, no shockwave available, as well as the Void Seeker nearly finds its mark onto Missing. Taeyun gonna try and find his way in, but it's really hard to get close to Pays or Shun. So that Wombo combo, while it was a bit messy, bought enough space for JDG to even up the Drake.
Original film in an IMAX being successful. No one saw that one come. Okay, we actually have to pause.
Okay, yeah, here we go. Here we go.
Into nothing.
JDG trying to set up an angle onto the fight, threaten the Baron, but Monkey WE, they do not fall for it. They take the mid-tier 1, and they'll come back off and
this might be a Kaisa solo, and we'll see if JDG feels frisky enough to actually start the Baron.
All right. Game of chicken between these big neutrals. Shun's going to start it. Kindred, Xayah burn through this Baron if they get too much time, and you're seeing it right now. Taeyun's trying to come back up here. W are going to have to start this fight without their AD
Vampire
carry, but
spotted.
JDG are looking for the turn first. There's the big tippers, and they find the pick onto Karis. No shockwave available for WE, and now they're completely split off. Down goes Cube. Scout, the guy, the veteran that was making so many mistakes earlier on in this series, might have just found the one ultimate on Annie that seals the Baron for JDG.
I mean, missing falls. Who cares if you're a JDG? As the Dragon Gambit, and JDG were on the Baron before they saw the Dragon fall, and it will pay off in a Baron for JDG. So the setup rings true, and Scout returning from base connects with a really big Tibbers. I mean, that pretty much just... Vampire lying in wait. I was going to be caught.
Okay. Great stasis. Shockwave gets nothing. How much does JDG want to get off the back of that? They might feel a lot more confident starting fights without that big wombo. Missing goes flying in there, trying to get
How much can JDG get? I think the Shockwave is really important for WE. It can
so
really
vital.
hold... Yeah, it can hold a lot of space. It's a threat against Pays, who is really fed at this point. I don't think that WE wants to pull the trigger without Shockwave or JDG. So I think that's like where WE should look. But their pop needs to be big. When they use their ults, it needs to be big. Because again, Taeyun as the Kaisa into the Kindred and the Xayah can't really function
It's impossible to play. It's impossible
without that
to play.
ultimate. Yeah.
Partly why he maybe indexed into that AP build is we see the Void Staff and the Zhonya's alongside
Is
the
yet to be spotted. Scout does have flash up again.
Oh my god, but look at how quickly Kindred Xayah ripped that dragon. Monkey flying in as well after Shun, who's easily saving the equalizer from Ala, is going to cut off Cube and Vampire. Flying in is Taeyun next. Pays buying so much space. The Lamb's Respite. The knockup from Vampire. They can't kill Pays off. And boom goes the dynamite in the name of Shun. Gets the heal. Flying after Karis next. Shun will not relent. And sure, Taeyun finds himself safe on the back end of this fight. But he has no control left over the...
out of there either. As he lived with 1 HP. Oh, wait. Ult and 2. 1 for Taeyun. Yep.
Oh, he's going. He's going for it. Cleanses the stun. Can Taeyun do it? No! Shun survives again. It's just a 1-for-1.
Oh, Taeyun down for 62. He lived throughout it. That's the Dragon picked up. They get the Baron off the back half of that.
Just going to get chunked down. Their turrets cut down by a Kindred that is so infinitively scaled at 12 stacks. And
Shun.
it's just so hard to
Dear
even
Lord.
get near this Kindred at this point.
What range do you even have at 12 stacks, right? Because it's a 4-7-10 breakpoint on the Kindred. So, yeah, Shun looks like he's got like 675 plus.
But once again, Monkey flies in as well. But JDG stave off the play very, very well. Get back together as 5.
Still lose the turret.
Yeah, they lose the turret. Vampire doesn't have his ultimate anymore, so WE are starting to run out of tools.
It's a one-way trip for Vampire.
There's no more hemorrhaging left.
great
WE are getting cut down. The equalizer burning through so many members.
Wait,
Monkey's
Pays?
up in the air. Monkey's down. Pays gets a huge blade caller back. Shun pops the stasis to try and save himself, but WE are completely scattered. It's the double marksman that bring home the series for JDG.
I really cannot believe that JDG won this series 2-1. And I can't believe that Pays lived in those last 2 fights. The GA into the Lamb's Respite was fantastic.